Why take the Mountain King?
Because you can primal the Mountain King when it needs to finish something off.
This is for Tate. Tate, listen, this is the new tech. When the Mountain King was...
Mat 7, bro.
Mountain King was first spoiled, I told Tate I was going to primal it to make it good. And he's like, you can't do that. I was like, show me where it says you can. He's like, no, you can't because it's 20 points and that would be stupid. I was like...
You can if it's killing their caster.
Watch me.
I believe it's 33 points.
No, the Mountain King alone.
What?
31 points.
It basically is, after you add in all the support that he needs.
Well, if you add in all support, it's 56 points. Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah. And even then, he's still meh.
Yeah. I spent 56 points trying to make this model good.
The rock is just backup, alright? What happens is, you're like, oh, my feet's gonna protect me. And then the Stormwall comes in and beats the fuck out of it. And then you still have rock to make your extras Mat 8.
I like how we glaze over the you lost 20 points.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Learn to Wargame audio podcast. My name is Brandon, or PG Mutilus on the forums, and I'm still playing Khador.
I'm Max. I lurk on the forums. And I still like to think I play Crix.
I'm Jeremey. I go by Lord Fool on the forums, and I think I play mercenaries.
Okay. And joining us via Skype is...
My name's Ryan, and I play Trolls. I go by Age of Egos on the forums.
Alright, so today our topic is going to be Borka 2 or Bearka. Ryan's going to be leading us mostly at this because he's been having fun with Bearka.
I've been playing him quite a bit since he came out. I've tried him with a few different lists. Some of them have been hilariously bad. Some of them have been okay. I was actually kind of surprised by him, though, because he's not as bad or boring as I thought he was going to be when I first saw his card, because this card's pretty underwhelming. Should we talk about that? Should we say what his stats and stuff are?
I figure most people have access to War Room at this point, but I mean, it's not going to hurt. You can go ahead and summarize a little bit, hit some key points.
Okay, well, the key point is he's a cavalry guy now. His speed went up to 7, which I think is worth noting because he plays pretty aggressive because that feeds his feet. The other thing I think people should notice is that he's a 14-18, which means he's usually going to be a 14-20, which is a pretty baller stat line for a Warlock.
He has the highest armor of Warlocks, as far as I understand.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. If he's behind a wall and he's got Elemental Communion on him, he has a total defense and armor of 40. I don't know if any other Warlock breaks 40 when you combine that together.
Borka 1.
Does he behind a wall?
Borka behind a wall is a 21-21 if he's engaged or has the Earthborn Animus on him.
Just for shooting. He's 21-19, so I guess it's 40 still. Yeah. So yeah, he kept his 40 total.
No, if you're not counting Animi, yeah. Borka can hit 42 against shooting with an Animus on him.
Yeah, so he's still, he doesn't have a Stumbling Drunk anymore, which kind of sucks, but he's still pretty damn survivable. They're not going to be able to bleed Fury off you pretty easy with small POW 12s, like they normally do with Warlocks.
Why did they only make him speed 7?
Because he gets Pathfinder.
Yeah, he always has Pathfinder.
I believe he's the only cavalry model other than a battle engine that got Pathfinder when he upgraded to cavalry.
Yeah, and it's always, usually there's like a Pathfinder when they charge with Relentless.
Yeah, Relentless charges on Vlad 3, but he doesn't technically have Pathfinder.
Goreshade gained Ghostly.
He didn't get Pathfinder.
I know, he got something better than Pathfinder. I'm sorry.
It didn't say it wasn't better. He technically does not have Pathfinder.
Ray has Pathfinder.
But he also got Assault now, so he still has his bombs that he can toss whenever he charges, which is good with his spell, which is... Or I guess I should say he's got Field Marshal immunity cold too, so every one of his War Beasts are immune cold, which basically feeds his feet. His
also making him immune to cold, because for some reason he lost immunity to cold and gained it as his Field Marshal, so it's not on his card, but he is still immune to cold.
It's because the bear. The bear is not immune to cold, I guess, so he has to have that ability. I don't know.
I do want to say this is the first time I've ever been happy about a change where he originally had an automatic ability on his weapon, and now it's a crit ability, and I like it better, even though it's inconsistent, because now he's got critical smite versus the old brain damage.
I think you're right, because the amount of times I could think that he actually brain damaged someone was once, and crit smite comes up a lot more. So he's got 3 spells. One of them is Battle Charge. Everyone in his battle group gets Counter Charge, basically, which is his bread and butter. That's his main awesome spell. He's got Frost Hammer, which is a Spray 8, POW 12. If you crit, they get stationary. It's cost 2, so you can Harmonious it down to 1. I've used it very rarely. It pretty much sucks. I don't think people will cast that often. Then he's got Snow Shroud, which gives a friendly faction model unit concealment, and then they also get immunity cold, which helps feed his feet.
All right, so to this point, it's pretty much a shit sandwich. So why are you playing him?
Well, his feet and battle charge for an entire war beast
It's okay.
It's pretty good. It's pretty annoying. It's hard to play around.
I'll give you annoying.
Because you can layer your beast with him with a battle charge, especially if you take multiple axers. So they can't really just tie stuff up when you have a bunch of reach war beasts.
Right. But we all know why you're playing him.
Yeah, which is his feet. His feat is everyone in his control area gets stealth, and that's not friendly models, that's everybody. So that includes their models if you were trying to do an assassination run with a gun. Anybody in his army that has immunity cold that's in his control area, if an enemy hits them after they resolve that one hit, they become stationary immediately for 1 round, which is really good because it basically makes his beasts immune to non-colossal attacks for 1 turn. Weapon master, so you can still throw them into you, but you're probably not going to be playing crits anyways with him, so it's a pretty awesome feat.
So Ryan, why don't you go ahead and go through your list, explain why you put this combination of things into a list and why you think it works.
So the first list that I started playing with Bearka, and probably my favorite list to play with him still, is I take Bearka, and I take 3 Axers, I take a Mauler, a Mountain King, a Rune Bearer, which I think will be in every list for Bearka, a full unit of stones with the attachment, of course, and then 1 group of whelp. Whenever I've played this list, basically, I look at what they come at me with. If they come at me with high defense, I amuck the Axers because they Thresher and they get boosted hits, so they're hitting defense 16 to 17, somewhere around there on average. If they come at me with armor, then I can throw a POW 18 Axer into them as well. So the Axers can do a lot of work, and they're an awesome light war beast. They might be the best light war beast that actually does work. I mean, the Gorax is...
The fact that they're also a strong support piece helps a lot.
Yes. And then when you cast Battle Charge, trying to get around 3 Axers and Mauler in Borka is really, really difficult. Borka usually hangs back, so if they try to tie up a back Axer, he gets rid of it. They try to tie up a front Axer, the next Axer gets rid of it. It's just really, really annoying to get around. We mentioned the crit smite, and just there's an awesome probability table on Daka that someone made. At mat 10 when he charges, because he's mat 8 and he gets the cavalry bonus, if you boost a hit, against most things you have about a 40-ish% chance to crit smite.
Are you talking about just when he charges something, not when he countercharges, right?
Correct, because you can't boost when you countercharge, right. But if you need to get rid of something, also, even when he just regular charges, I think it's like 18% or something on most things.
It can't be more than... like 13%, because there's only 1 in 6 chances to roll doubles and one of them automatically misses. So it's a 5 in 36 chance at max. That's if they're defense 14 or lower, you have a max 5 in 36.
The reason that I mention that is because it has came up whenever I played, whenever he countercharges at mat 10. And if you get a crit smite, and I verified this in the rules, if you get a crit smite and someone charges your Axer, you crit smite him backwards. The Axer that was charged can now countercharge, even though he was formerly engaged because of the order of operations. So
that's kind of weird, but correct.
It's weird. It's pretty hilarious when it happens.
And just for people that don't understand that, when they come in on the Axer with a model, you countercharge with Borka, who's standing behind the Axer. And then, because of order of activation, when you choose to trigger countercharge on Borka, basically time stops until he's done countercharging, and then you resolve other effects that triggered off of the original situation, which was someone ended their movement within 6 inches of the Axer, and when you go to trigger it, he's currently not engaged, so it lets you do it. And it was actually, I believe, ruled on the forums by an Infernal that way as well.
It comes up. You can also just boost a hit on your turn if you really need to crit smite something, which I've done quite often just to slam stuff through other stuff. Okay, so yeah, back to my list. Sorry. So anyways, the Axers are really good with him, and Axers are just an awesome light war beast, period. The Mauler is just always a solid beast, and you can make your Axers hit like bricks, or you can make Borka hit like a brick too, because he goes up to POW 19 under stone. The Mountain King, I just want to play with him for the most part, but his feat almost makes him immune for a turn. I don't even know... You guys mentioned the Stormwall earlier. Does the Stormwall kill an armor 21
We did
Mountain
the
King?
math. A Stormwall, barring like positive charge, Iona, and whole craziness, it doesn't, but there are Colossals that do.
Haley 2 bonded temporal accelerated probably kills it.
We did the math. If you don't hit it with some kind of armor debuff, it doesn't. But it's close. It's dicey.
With 8 attacks.
It doesn't get through it because it's swinging at dice off 5. Not dice off 5. It's POW
If you
20.
take the miss chance out, because it's not probably going to miss.
Except if you miss
Right.
one, you fail horribly.
It's 6 damage on average, times 8, which is exactly 48.
Yeah, it'd be pretty dicey.
If you get
But-
to walk up and do it, then yes.
Yeah, because you're not paying 1 to charge at that point, right?
You
Probably-
also have to have a 5-inch
Her
lane
bonded,
to his...
her bonded temporal accelerated out threats it walking. So.
Yeah, it probably
does.
does. Even with Rush, I think it does.
But you have to have nothing between you and it that's in a 5-inch lane. Like, it is hard to get a Colossal to walk through someone's army when they know it's coming.
Especially when you have 3 Axers in front of him.
Right.
Anyway, the countercharge also helps protect the Mountain King because of Borka's assault. So if they come in with light troops, you can just toss your bomb. You're not going to hit him because he's Rat 5. But usually, since of the way you resolve the countercharge, your scatter is going to pretty much scatter onto him. So you can help protect your Mountain King that way. And then the feet, they usually don't get harm on you because your
Stealth helps.
countercharge, doesn't help him. But yeah, it helps the countercharging for the Axers if they try to get close enough. And watching people realize that for the first time when they try to get an arc node close or something like that, and they realize they can't get within 5 because you just countercharge them. So it really helps him become almost spell immune for a turn. And then the feet, obviously, if they don't have a Colossal, they're not going to kill the Mountain King that turn.
Yeah.
Even incited Scythians aren't going to kill the Mountain King that turn.
Gorman can't get to auto-scatter range most of the time.
Correct.
Well, to
And
be
then the
fair,
cr-
if they have enough ablative dudes, they can trigger all of your counter charges and just let you kill people, and then come into you.
Yeah, they could. I take a Rune Bearer just because he is so Fury starved at Fury
Yeah.
5.
I'm really
You have-
sad he didn't get some kind of Fury mechanic to help
I
him.
know. Yeah, it's bad for him.
He went from the least Fury starved caster to the most.
I take a full Krillstone just because he can actually, even though it doesn't seem like it with Fury 5, he doesn't do a lot with his Fury come second or third turns unless he's really getting involved. So you can actually almost top off the stone, and then plus I always take a full stone when I take a Mountain King just to make sure they can't shrink my aura too much, and then to make for my Axers, and to make sure that if I need to, I can run a guy in front of the Mountain King, power slam it through Kayazi or something crazy that I will never hit otherwise. And then Whelps. So
Yeah, Whelps are pretty obvious.
Yep.
Just throw it in. Whelps are really hard to remove during his feet turn.
yeah, they're all
You can't
stealth.
see them. Unless you have gun mages or something. But for the
Yes.
most part, they're annoying. And they're not
Yep.
worth shooting. Mostly just a huge beast brick. Max, what did you get?
I have Borka, Vengeance of the Rumshas, or something like that. Trollkin Rune Bearer, because why not? Axer, the metal sculpt, of course. Rock, because more troll players should use him.
He's so bad. I hate this guy.
The Mountain King, because more troll players should use that. And full Krillstone with the Stone Scribe Elder.
Interesting.
Who needs whelps when you have
Beef.
whelp shedding?
It's true. Wait, no, it's not.
No.
Anything special about your list that you want to point out? It was pretty straightforward, but
It has war beasts in it,
okay.
and when your Mountain King invariably dies, you have the backup of Primal, have Mad 8 Axers go kill things.
And because 2 of our lists obviously had Mountain Kings in them, the small synergy is a Muck works on Thresher, so you can send in your Axers versus small units of infantry, and it gets a little bit of work done.
Gives you
Is-
2 things with Assault on countercharge. Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Yeah.
A Muck's only turn, right? Yeah, it's only turn.
Unfortunately.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Just a Muck all the Axers, be like, come at me. Wait
Well,
for
you
3 guys to
can't-
pile up.
You can't Thresher on their turn, though, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
special.
Critical freeze.
Alright, so you got nothing to add to your list at all? It was pretty simple, but I just want to make sure.
Rock has Assault.
Okay.
He assaults things as he countercharges.
Right.
Gets a sweet 11% crit chance on most models.
Is most defense 12? Did you add in the defense?
When he counterattacks, you're saying he's
That's
got
why I said
11%
11.
chance.
Well, because his spray has crit freeze, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's Rat 5,
Yeah.
right?
So against most things, he'll need between 7 to a 9.
So it's like a, 5% chance?
It's better than... Well, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
It's better than...
On defense 11, it's 11%.
Ugh.
Defense 12 takes it down to an 8. It's okay.
What about a 13?
8.3.
Okay. So we're probably looking about 8% chance. Well, to be fair, it'd be probably closer to 11 because... oh, wait, what was 12? Defense 12 was 11%?
8.3.
Oh, never
It's the
mind.
same for 13 because
Yeah.
It makes it an odd number.
Yeah.
Still, the same number is still crit.
Still need the 8, yeah.
13 to 14, yeah, that's where it breaks usually. But
Okay, so my list, as bad as it is. Borka, Vengeance of the Rhymeshaws, Trollkin, Runebearer, 3 Troll Axers, and Rock, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Horthol, Long Rider Hero, and a full unit of Long Riders. 1 Trollkin Sorcerer as their adjunct. I don't know what the fuck that is. Troll Whelps, group of 5, and a maximum size Creelstone with Elder. Oh, interesting point of synergy. This is probably never going to come up, but the Trollkin Sorcerer's Winter Storm ability removes Eyeless Sight and Flight. You can run it and remove Eyeless Sight so they can't see through your stealth.
you can't run it.
Well, you can't. Well, you could run it up the turn before.
Rock can pick it up and throw it with one hand.
Just make a tough roll. You're there.
He might not die from it.
Well, he's going to primal himself, so he throws it further.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
You can do this. You can charge him against something. Battle Wizard.
That's true. Too bad you can't primal him. That'd be
Yeah,
legit.
he's mad 5. He'll hit.
Some things.
Yeah.
He'll hit that Kador Jack.
Let's see. Actually, if he charges a Gallows Grove, he on average kills it. 50% of the time.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
If he's
On
under
average, he
Creelstone-
also fails to kill it. Just saying.
Not with the Creelstone. Creelstone puts him just over average.
All right.
Yeah. God, I can't believe he has Battle Wizard. Okay, so what I really built this list for is I wanted to see the Long Riders with Borka, because they're naturally hard to remove under Creelstone, but once you throw that spell on them, they go up to defense 14 against most guns, and their armor... hold on, I'm on Horthol.
19 under stone.
19 under stone with 8 boxes, and that's just hard to get off the table, especially under his feet. And they also give you some added infantry clearing because they come in at effective mat 9, and they can do slams if they want to, which can take out even more high defense infantry. So I think it gives you the problem solving that you didn't already have, and then Rock with Primal helps out a lot too. I think the biggest thing you might run into is like actual armor like skew with my list because you don't have a really heavy hitter other than Rock.
Yeah, I like Long Riders with him. One of my lists that I built that I want to test has that in it. I think it'd be good.
Sorry, I don't know if I actually said this. There is a Feral Geist in the list because he can contest zones, and the list tends to brick up pretty hard.
My list is based on causing terror checks with the Mountain King.
How's that going for you so far? How many units have broke?
I don't play trolls.
I don't play trolls, so none. Are you saying none?
I'm saying all of them.
I've never had a unit break to the Mountain King.
Theoretically, in my brain, they've all broken.
All of those Bane Thralls that have charged my Mountain King have never broken.
Well, that's
but
because
my spirit has been broken.
Yeah, Bane Thralls against the Mountain King is not a good time.
It's fine.
But do you have a damage buff in that list? I can't remember what your word
Primal
you had.
for
Rock.
Yeah. I figure Rock plus Stone gets the Axers to POW 17, gets Rock to POW 21. That's not bad.
The only thing I would argue against that is, like in the Long Rider list I made, I didn't have Rock. I just had a pure damage buff. That way the Long Riders can do
Could
work.
take the damage buff.
Yeah, I wanted to put the Mauler in, but the points just worked out kind of funny, and I didn't have it to hit buff at that point, and I was worried that the Long Riders wouldn't be able to get it done, being my only thing over mat, 6.
Yeah, they'll be, if you throw Rage on them, they're what?
It's just
Mat
one more
9,
strength.
POW 15? POW 17. Mat 9, POW 17. That's not bad.
Borka can't really afford to cast it more than once, maybe twice, if he really tries.
What about running Borka with Horthol?
Yeah, I have Horthol on
I
this
have
list.
Horthol in this list.
Why?
But
Well, I wasn't paying attention to you.
I'm confused.
FYI.
Yeah, I completely zone out when he's talking to me.
Right?
Why? Anything specific?
Anything specific about...
You were saying run Horthol with Borka. Were you just saying because they're both on?
He can put the damage buff out. You just give him Pyre Slag, whatever.
You meant Horgol,
There we go.
not
Horthol.
who
That
is the Long
stupid-
Rider hero.
Yeah, you don't even need him.
It's not
Take him out.
Horluck, it's not Horthol, it's Horgol.
Well, they're
Completely.
trolls are fucking stupid.
Just it's like people names do that sometimes. There's like Tim and Jim and Kim and
And Bims.
Bim, Dim,
Dim sum.
Rim,
All right. Anyways.
Carl.
Are you
I
done
think
over
Horthol is almost an auto-include with Long Riders, just because of his benefit. Plus,
He is.
I don't know, maybe if both your lists have Long Riders is when you don't?
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that. That's like taking gun mages without the officer. It's like it just
He's
makes
like
them
4
so
points,
good.
so it's a little different.
He's 5 points. He's
okay.
a
Well, there
solid
you go.
work
Even
piece.
even better.
He's even harder to kill than they are.
He is. Plus, he is Mat 10 with a critical stagger, which affects Colossals.
He also has 3 dice to hit with critical knockdown with his mount.
Yeah.
And he's a
plus
dragoon. And he's just a POW 15 reach guy.
Yeah.
I would really like to try my list. All right. So, Ryan.
Don't even want to hear mine, do you?
No.
Why?
Because
You
it's
think
going to be fucking shredders all day.
There are no shredders in
All
this
right,
list.
Jeremy, what did you bring?
Borka, Bomber, Dire Troll Mauler, Victor Pendrake, Brun, and Lug. Minimum using... What?
I didn't say anything. Why are you yelling at me?
I have to look at your face.
Keep going.
Min unit of Bushwhackers, Trokan Warders, Trokan Champions with the UA. What?
Hold on a second. I'm reading Borka's feet again.
Go ahead.
God damn it.
Friendly models.
It's not faction. Brun and Lug get his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
That's
They're cool.
I bet they're going to be in his team force. I mean, it would only make sense.
No, maybe.
Actually, you know what? When
you...
you can guarantee deliver Brun and Lug, they might be good.
Yeah.
They already have built-in Pathfinder.
And you can primal Lug.
Yeah, you just have to do the math on how your order of activation has to go to do what you want to do, and it's not good.
I played Brun and Lug for a little bit when I was playing Dwarves in the Journeyman League, and they're actually not terrible to play. It's actually hard to get rid of that little guy.
If you have Hunter's Mark in your list, then I think they're pretty cool.
Lanessa Russell.
Yeah, because then you can run him up to get flank, and then you get the free charge, so you don't have to worry about forcing the bear that is now outside of your 6-inch control area, because that'll happen.
Yeah.
To charge and do stuff.
What about... Oh, I bet that doesn't work. Grimm's ability, it doesn't let you charge for free if you're not faction, right?
It's in his battle group.
Bait the line.
Yeah. You have, if you do that, if you do Lanissa Russell, and then you rush him, and then you run the dwarf up there, he's going to do a lot of work. A lot of work. Especially if you don't have to rush him, if you can rage him, because that's friendly, isn't it?
Friendly faction.
Rage is faction.
Okay.
Primal is only friendly.
Yeah, so there you go. You primal him, or...
That means flanking, he would be a Mat 9, POW 16 Weapon Master.
Yeah, pretty good.
Ugh. That's an angry bear.
That's going to kill a heavy.
Does Butcher kill heavies?
Butcher kills heavies as well.
Okay, then it would kill heavies.
I actually don't remember his...
Because that's literally Butcher's stat line.
Oh, I'm looking at... I was like, I think Lug was... Oh, he's POW 15. That'd be POW 17 Weapon Master.
Yeah, Butcher's POW 16.
Yeah, he actually hits harder than Butcher. And has 4 Fury and 2
Well,
base.
if you quit misadding, I wouldn't misspeak.
I didn't think he was base 15. I thought he was base 14. That's even better.
Which, I'll be honest with you, I'll take a Borka POW 19 over a Butcher Weapon Master POW 16. Which I know it'll get into a big argument about.
No,
Weapon
I
Master
like
versus
consistency.
plus rate. Yep.
Consistency is nice, because you can't roll 4 1s when you're rolling 3 dice.
I'll take Reach Flashing Blade Mat 9 all the time. Thank you.
Not a whole
Oh, yeah.
Butchers
Outside
have
this-
Flashing Blade.
Okay, I'll take Mat 9 POW 16 Weapon Master with the feat that makes him double Weapon Master over
Okay.
POW 19.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. His feats.
And the spell Fury to just be POW 19.
Yeah, he kills everything.
Anyways, let's go through
And if it has beast
these. Or build our list,
Or
whatever
build a
we're
list.
doing.
We should probably build a list. Ryan,
What are you talking about? We already got my list, which is perfect.
it's not bad. They definitely made Borka with the Mountain King in mind and their Mountain King sales in mind. But to be fair, I want to play the Mountain King that I was going to buy because I love the model. So I'm glad they made this guy.
What about 2 Mountain Kings?
2 Mountain Kings is viable at 75 points. It actually is not that bad at 75
I think
points.
1 is viable at 75 points.
Well, let's start with, how do we think that Borka wins? I know what I think. Like, how do you think Borka's going to win the game?
He doesn't feel like a heavy assassination caster unless you go for the gun line.
Or unless they trigger an accidental countercharge and all of a
Yeah,
sudden...
like if they get rock to walks 5 inches closer to their caster than they were expecting, and it was like the last activation they had, then yeah, bad times.
Well, think on this. The Warlock's activated, they've done some stuff. They go ahead and let Borka trigger countercharge, or they forget it. So now he charges, let's just say 8 inches. He could charge 10, but he probably not going to go that far
Not on
because of the 6 inch.
countercharge.
Yeah, so he goes,
Do it.
let's just say 6 inches. So then on
Well,
his
that's what
next
he's going to go in
turn-
on a countercharge. You can't go further than 6 inches because you have to end within 6 to activate it.
Technically, he could.
You can.
Barely.
It's
not really much more.
It's not the way you think, because if you trigger countercharge, the way cavalry charging works, if he kills his charge target with the impact attack, he finishes his charge movement in that direction.
Or you can just charge laterally to the side of the model.
You can. That's much more likely.
That'll get you a whole 7.
But anyway, so let's say 6 inches. Well, he threatens 12 naturally. So that's 18 inches. So if they're warlocked within 18 inches of him and they trigger countercharge on him, it could be bad. But yeah, he's not going to win that way usually.
There's also a lot of ways to knock down in that list, especially if you take like long riders for odd slams. Like you can run one long rider up and then bull rush him into the opponent's caster. I do agree we definitely need to figure out how we want to play this. So what do you think, Ryan? This is kind of your show because it's your topic.
I think he is going to be a scenario caster. He's got speed. His feet basically buys you a turn to where in countercharge, between countercharge and his feet, he basically gets in a zone quickly and says, don't come in here. He is not going to be easy to kill. So he can sit in his zone. So I think he's going to end up being mostly a scenario caster. He can probably attrition okay too because of the amount of armor you're going to bring.
But it's a scenario list in the concept of it's a bully. Like it wants to get you scared and get you out of where you want to play normally.
Yep. It's going to say you can't come in here. I think that's how he wins. So I think when we design his list,
it is very hard to move up and just toe into a zone when you've got a bunch of countercharge staring you down. You can't just throw in worthless models. You have to actually put something real in the zone.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's how he ends up winning.
So we'll focus mostly on scenario / attrition play. Starting off, clearly, Rune Bear. He's obviously good with Axers. What do we want to do for his battle group? If you want to play heavy scenario and or gun
If
line...
we're playing heavy scenario, I think we need to look at about 5 winter trolls.
Stationary models do not contest. So actually that would be so amazing. So they move up to try and get into the zone. They toe into the zone and Rock countercharges them and assaults and crit freezes. He's like, good game. Damn it.
Rhymes everywhere.
I was going to say though, for real, just as a suggestion, Troll Blitzer for the Repulse Animus. And he has Virtuoso, so he can actually shoot stuff with a countercharge. You might want to just punch it instead, but...
I'm not sold on a Blitzer.
He's both Mat and Rat 5. It'd be sweet if he could cast his Animus during a countercharge.
My war room says I cannot add him.
If, are we... Another thing I should know is, are we just going all out with no character restrictions? Like, okay, this would be my
make
list.
the list as it would optimistically...
There are no pluses halfway.
Oh.
That's just an error.
Jeremy has his phone is messing up and he's blaming War Room, even though it's his phone.
Okay, well, let's do the auto includes. You're going to have Borka, you're going to have a Rune Bearer, you're going to have a Krillstone, and a UA.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Throwing in the Krillstone now. Do we want full?
Usually I play full, but if we can drop a point, that's not a big
If we
deal.
need to drop a point, we'll come back to it. Okay, so we've got the essentials next.
If you're not going to worry about characters, I think I would put Mulg in every list with him, because Protective Fit and Countercharge on Mulg is going to be pretty good. And his feet on Mulg is going to be really good.
It's another crit on a countercharge as well.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll throw in Mulg for now, with a possibility of changing that to a rock or something. What are you guys doing?
I'm just showing him a good list.
What's the good list?
Settle down.
Is it Borka with two Mountain Kings?
No, the Mountain King's gone, and there's
No
now
Mountain
4
King.
winter trolls.
Did you even that might be the only thing worse than a Mountain King is 4 Winter Trolls.
If only they all had assault, it'd be worth 4 assaults.
Gunbjorn?
I accidentally put in storm trolls for some reason. These aren't winter trolls. These aren't winter trolls at all.
You accidentally made your list good and saved 4 points.
These are useful.
Aren't Winter Trolls 5? I'm pretty sure they're 5.
Oh,
That's literally like I saved 4 points and made a good
So are
decision.
storm trolls.
Storm Trolls are 4.
No.
No, they're 5.
Oh, okay,
I think.
it's easily worth 5. Okay, so Mulg.
All right, I
Continuing.
fixed my list.
Yes.
I don't think you should be building this. We should. Are we really building this as if there's no list pair or this is your first list?
I think honestly with this list, yes, because if it's competing with the same slot in a list pair as Runes of War is, if you're going to play it, you need to play it to its best. Because the thing you're going to pair a Beast Brick with is not going to use a lot of the same stuff.
Well, unfortunately, my best list is going to end up looking like Runes of War then, because I think that's how Bearka is going to be best used. And that it being like Mulg, an Earthborn, a Mauler.
I don't think you need to go that heavy with him. I think he should focus more on the one, maybe two heavies taking advantage of the light, regardless if it's the Axers or whatever.
An Earthborn behind the Janessa wall with countercharge is pretty hilarious to me.
Can be.
And then Mulg, of course, armor 23. That pushes Bearka up to arm 22.
But with his feet, you might want to take advantage of the fact you don't need the Earthborn combo with Janessa, and you could just save 13 points and rely on the feet to get you there.
Yeah, but if it's Mulg behind a wall with Elemental Communion, I don't think anything kills him then, right?
It doesn't change the math that much. The same thing that's going to kill him is the same thing that was going to kill the Mountain King. It doesn't matter, because under feet, he's still not going to die to anything that's not like 10 Bane Knights or something like that.
Yeah, or even a Storm will punch a Mulg over walls, no guarantee. He needs 7s then, is that right?
Defense 13, he would need 7s if there's no way to reduce your defense. But the problem is you have 15 less hit points? 14 less hit points.
But you're +2 armor.
Well, I mean, we could have done the same thing for the Mountain King, though, but...
Well, you can't usually, though, because of points. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Because of points, you normally can't. But.
I think you should take advantage of the fact that the feat is a lot of survivability for free. I mean, if you're going to build the same list, then there's no point. You might as well just play Runes, because there's no argument Runes is more consistent than this list. But if you're going to build this list, I feel like you need to at least take advantage of the synergies it offers. Like, an Armor 23 Beast under his feet is no different than Armor 21 Beast.
What you eventually get around to is that you just realize that Runes is better. So if you're playing Bearka, you just want to play Bearka. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Bearka's build's not the same as Runes. It could be the same exact, but...
I don't think it is. I don't think it is the exact same build.
Well, minus Rune Shapers and more Axers.
No, I'm being serious. I don't think you need the Earthborn combo. But I mean, if you want to add it, I mean, it's a possibility.
No, it's just a suggestion I'm throwing out. I like it. It's one of the builds I'm going to try. It's just to stack armor and say, okay, now you can't get rid of me. Well, with Bearka then, here would be a list that I'm going to try next time I play him, and I think might end up being the list. It's going to be Bearka, 2 Axers, a Mauler, an Earthborn, Mulg, a Rune Bearer, a Creelstone Min with an Elder, Janessa, and 2 groups of Whelp. And if it's a single zone scenario, I don't see what can bully that out of the scenario zone. You don't have to worry about casting Snow Shroud in that list. You know, Battle Charge, of course, is going to be awesome when you have 2 Axers and 3 Heavies. Mulg and Bearka both have crits to smack stuff around. You can still rage the Axers if you need to hit stuff. You can Communion Borka to where behind a wall he's an 18-22. So between that and his feet turn, I don't see how he dies that often.
How does that list deal with infantry?
That I'm not saying any way in here other than it just punches it all.
Yeah, Threshing Axers, counter charges.
But Mat 6s
yeah, they're still Mats.
aren't.
Like Chaos the Assassins swarm into your lines. How do you get rid of them?
Yeah,
That's
they
the
would
most
be annoying.
extreme case. But even, just
right.
something that's defense 15
Yeah, just infantry that are
or 14
hard to hit.
is 8s and is hard for you to remove in swaths.
Like even gun mages that get desperate and run into your lines, like it seems like it's going to be basically Mold kills them over the course of 2 turns.
Well, an Axer just threshes and boosts 3 times. That's 3 dead infantry, usually. Chaosy would be a problem, of course.
I just think that I guess you are running 2 groups of whelps, but that is seriously stressing the amount of fury you can deal with without losing 6-point effectiveness the next turn. I mean, you only have 2 Axers in the list. I mean, that's your AoE clear.
Yeah, I agree. That and Borka's Bomb, that's about the 2 things you have to do. He's got a spray too, which in a pinch you could take and boost, but it's a spray 8, if you boost, he's hitting 15, 16s on average, which isn't great, but I don't really worry too much about the crazy Kayazi defense anymore, because it doesn't seem like anyone plays them very much. But
I agree.
Everyone's like armor skewing.
They're gonna come back though, because armor skew can't deal with it.
You think I think that'd be an interesting discussion though, because I don't know if high defense can make a comeback with the amount of AoEs that are still going to be out there, even when people are trying to settle for high armor. But
I think we're to the point right now, if not now, like very, very soon, people are just going to say, I'm tired of this armor skew crap, and start playing their, just hammer lists, where it's just like, I'm going to break everything and not care. Like, you're going to see a lot more Cricks just focusing on Banes with Parasite kind of stuff. You're going to see Khador running Butcher 1 with Iron Fangs and Doom Reavers. Anything to just break armor that's cheap. And then the anti-high defense will become more of an afterthought. You'll squeeze it in when it's opportune, and maybe one of your lists will deal with it. But you won't see any more of the 2 lists having everything to deal with infantry all the time.
Lich 2 making a comeback.
Lich 2 is perfect in the current meta. I don't know why Crix loses anything.
It's because Crix suffers from the, I'm going to build a list to deal with you.
Yeah.
If they didn't, then Crix would be really good.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Anyways.
seriously, as a troll player, the first thing I have to think is, okay, this is going to be my Crix drop.
Everybody does, and the problem, the thing is that there's other infantry factions in the game, but they get caught in the crossfire of you building for Crix.
Yeah, I can see.
You
Yes.
build a Crix list and show it to me that doesn't deal with Khador.
Maybe some very weird Signar lists with people that don't understand how to build a balanced list at all. Every single POW 10 gun you could buy that does not have CRA or is boostable. Like, that's the only thing I can think of that wouldn't deal with Khador.
Yeah, I don't know how Signar plays against Khador right now. I know that before they used to just smack him around, but
The Stormwall fixed every problem they had with Khador, for the most part.
Yeah.
There's still some exceptions, but I mean, most generalist Signar lists will deal with Khador pretty well. Max is saying we're dragging on.
Well,
We haven't-
I'm not saying I didn't contribute. We're super off topic.
Okay, so Bearka. Anyways, so that's a list that I'm going to try next. I think you can do a gun line too, which I know that Brandon laughs at me every time I talk about this.
The problem I have with it is I feel it's a gotcha, and I don't feel it's a gotcha that changes the way they play a whole lot, because your axers or your bombers are fairly limited. I feel like if you're going to do something like that, there would probably be a better way to do it in the faction. And the way that's talking about is basically you run, 2 bombers and an impaler, and then throw in some melee support, and you use the feat as sort of a threat of assassination because you ignore line of sight to everything. But you have to make sure you also don't hit their caster, so you have to get within 10 of everything that's blocking line of sight to their caster, but not within 10 of their caster with your caster.
Even though you can threaten assassination with it, like the times I played it, like I played it against what's the little dwarf that gives snipe?
Awesome.
For his awesome. I played against that with the Earthbreaker. So turn 1, everyone just runs. Turn 2, the bombers move up and take like half a colossal off, because if you max out your bombers against a low defense target, you can take half a colossal. Then I run a unit of warders with it. They run up front with Snow Shroud in front of them, and then I feet. So the bombers are like immune basically that turn. They can't shoot them because they have stealth. They can't get to them because you got warders with Snow Shroud in front of you. So it gives you like a very heavy turn of attrition. And you can run your whelps on the board to clear the bombers because they have stealth too, so you're pretty safe. So I don't know. I played it twice. I thought it would be kind of a joke list, but I won both games with it pretty handily. So I don't know. It could just be double bombers are good. But it seems like
I think double bomber is just strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like because the guns on the Earthbreaker are range 10 to 13, right?
I think they're range 10 and they go up to 14 with... I'd have to look. I can't remember.
So they have a 19-inch threat. So it slightly out-threats you. On his feet turn, it's got a 21-inch threat. I feel like he should have been able to take a bomber off the table before you got a chance to take out a bunch of stuff. Either you have to feat to prevent that from happening, or you feat to allow your bombers to arrive, and then he counters and kills one of the bombers pretty easily.
Yeah, I'd have to see... I'd have to look at the threat ranges because I don't remember it again on the mercs.
Well, yeah, because the Earthbreaker is speed 4, snipe 8, gun range 10, that's 18, and then feat puts it to at least a 20.
Yeah, but his feat, I don't think he takes a bomber if you activate your stone.
Arm 20, dice off 7 on...
There's like 3 or 4
times 6. It gets
that's
within
max.
like 4. No, it has 2d3 plus 2. Its average is 6. So if he gets no other guns to it, it's dicey. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Like I said, you take half the colossal and then you feet back. So
I don't know. I'm saying like you should have 4 hit points if he rolls. Maybe 6 hit points left if he rolls exactly average.
yeah, it's range 10.
But then he's armor 22. I don't know how much you do to it. Dice off 6.
Dice off 6, you do about 11 each.
16
So
damage.
5 times 4, you do 20 to it from the bombs.
Yes, you do a third of its health, and then
Yeah. Then you feet.
and then I don't know.
But anyways, I don't know. It's kind of a QT list. I'll have to play it some more, but
The only problem I have with it is I feel that it has problems against more experienced players with placement. Like, I don't feel like they're ever going to give you their caster. I do feel it's a really good way to protect your guns.
Yes, it's an attrition list.
I respect
It's
that
not
part
an
of it,
assassination.
but I feel like there's probably better, like, so is Grim One's Feet. That's my problem. It's also a very good way to protect your guns.
Yeah, it is.
Just
Like I said, it's a fun list. It's not really. I don't think it's his best list, but. Anyways, so I'm gonna run that beast brick that I talked about for my next Bearka game, just to see how Mulg and the group does with him.
I'm playing
But
around with stuff in the list right now.
I've also ran a war wagon with him, which is kind of good because you can put Snow Shroud on it, which means that either they're going to have to give up a lot of infantry to kill it, or they're going to have to bring 2 or 3 heavies into it, which they're not going to, and let them be stationary. Plus, it can benefit from stealth, even though it's a big base, which is kind of funny. So I put it in front of my army before on feet turn with Snow Shroud and basically said, okay, yeah, you can probably take it if you want to, but if you do, it's going to cost you everyone being stationary, and then I'm going to bring the rest of my battle group in. But again, I don't know. It could be more cutesy than actually good.
Did you take Dozer and Smeg with it?
I did that with Gunbjorn.
Oh.
Did you ever play it with Borka?
With Dozer? No, I haven't played Dozer with Borka.
I do think it'd be interesting to run. If you were going to go gunline, I think you should fully commit to it, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, I originally had him in instead of Brun and Lug.
I think Brunenlug is actually, the more I think about it, if you do the rock way of going with it, I think it's actually pretty good. But the problem with once you put rock in, that's a 20-point module, basically. Although you don't have to have rock. It's just nice synergy. I think that we should try and shoehorn in the Long Riders. I like Long Riders with him.
Yeah,
I
so
think
do
they kind of do what you were doing with the Battle Engine. You throw Snow Shout on them, and they're just... If you come at me, you're going to lose a lot to kill these cavalry models, but if you don't, they're going to charge into your lines with Bull Rush.
Yep, I like them with Snow Shroud, and I like the fact that they can slam too, because that's going to help you get scenario, which is what I think Borka is going to end up doing. In your Lawn Rider list, did you have Mulg?
I did not add Rock originally, but I'm not sold on him.
What about Axer, Muller, Mulg, and then Lawn Riders, a Fell Caller, Horthel, and
You
then
think
support?
you need a Fell Caller?
I think if you're going to take Lawn Rider just to make sure that they kill everything, period, and plus Fell Calling Borka.
They're so accurate already, though, because they're mat 7. Their impact hits that have critical knockdown are automatically additional die to hit, and then they have cavalry charge to mat 9. You really think you need a Fell Caller? I just think it's 3 points you could save.
Yeah, I think it also... Does Fell Call last a turn?
Battle Cry, I believe, is round. I will check. It is...
There was another reason I was taking... Oh, Pathfinder, that's the reason I put him in there.
Yeah.
Because Inhospitable Ground with Lawn Riders is going to make me pretty sad.
They're not the fastest under Inhospitable Ground. They're not slow, but...
Oh, Warcry's just turn.
Yeah, it is. I was looking at that. I don't know. We'll probably squeeze it in. How about we throw in Rock instead? And that way, that'll be our to-hit fixer. Or you want Rage to put on the Long Riders?
Well, I'm not... It's like I said, I forgot the original reason I put it in there is to give Lawn Riders Pathfinder.
Okay. I just feel like there's not a lot. Ooh, what about the Chronicler for Charge of the Trolls and or Hero's Tragedy on the... Because that way... Because the way the stationary works, you don't actually ever get a turn of them being stationary on you, right?
It doesn't stack, unfortunately, like that.
What, Hero's Tragedy and... I know it doesn't delay them an extra turn, but that way they'll be knocked down. Because their following turn, they're fine. Because when they come into you, they become stationary, and since it's duration 1 round, at the end of your turn, they're not stationary, they can act as normal. So it allows you to ignore them a little bit longer, but I was thinking mainly Charge the Trolls, because with Counter Charge, you could get a beast into a weird spot, and then he could run and engage something important, and then the Long Riders tear it up.
Yeah, you could.
I got 6 points left. I got Rock, 2 Axers, Rune Bear, Horthol, Whelps, Fellcaller, Krillstone, Minimum, and Long Riders.
Horthel? You got Horthel?
Yeah, Horthel's in there.
So your battle group again is...
2 Axers and Rock at the moment. I got 6 points.
You think that's better than Axer, Maul, or Mulg?
I think it's cheaper than Axer, Maul, or Mold. Because that's 2... I don't think you have enough points for that, do you? You do. You have enough for that. So I drop this guy, I drop Rock. I don't know, I just don't like the non-reach. I feel like this is one list where you can really take advantage of your 1 reach beast.
You mean Mulg?
No, with the Axers.
Because Rock doesn't have reach. You're trading that out.
Maul, I mean, with how much armor is in the current meta. I mean, it's not terrible. I think if you got the Long Riders, you're probably okay. So
Yeah, as long as you have a damage buff.
we got 2 points now. Axe or Maul or Mold, 2 points left.
So you got Axer, Muller, Maul, Groombear, Krillstone, Lawn Riders, Fellcaller,
It is a
Horthol.
min stone, so we could max the stone and throw in like either Swamp Gobbers or a Feral Geist.
Do you have
Sorcerer.
Whelps?
Yes, one group of Whelps.
Yeah, Sorcerer might
I
be
just-
okay.
Sorcerer wouldn't be bad considering you have a really expensive unit that you like
Yeah.
to do stuff.
And post feet, he can probably actually hit something and kill something.
Yeah. And like I said, he's got that nice synergy with the removing Isle of Sight.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you respect that, Ryan?
It's got to be in his command range, and it's only when they activate.
Command
so
8.
they have to not kill him before they're like, oh, oops, I activated my Ravagore first. That was a mistake.
He's got tough.
Yeah.
You say that, but when he makes his tough roll and the Legion players like I just burned a 10-point activation to do nothing. And you're like, I'm sad.
He's a Finblade, and unfortunately, I've watched whole krills full of Finblades die before my eyes.
And
So-
we're playing scenarios, so the concept is that you're forcing people to come forward. He has a 13-inch threat with his Winter Storm between his advance and his command range. As long
Well,
as
even
you
more than
catch
that.
them in it, they can't shoot you unless they move up, and then you just countercharge them.
You can just Battle Wizard and charge one of their stationary models.
Is Battle Wizard enemy? I think it is. Yeah, it's enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just stay stationary, he Battle Wizards, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with putting him in there. I'm okay with putting him in there, if anything else, just for the adjunct on the...
Yeah, I
All
think it's
right.
worth a point. I upped the stone I threw in him.
Okay, so we got Axer, Muller, Maul, Groombear, Full Stone with UA, Lawn Riders, Fellcaller, Horthol, Whelp, Sorcerer. I'm down with that. I think that's a good list.
All right, now let's, like lightning, run through our pairings real quick. All right, how would this do against Haley 2?
Bad.
I don't know. I don't know if Haley 2 can't break armor most times, and that's a lot of armor.
I feel like you could protect. It really depends. If
I
it's
think
Stormwall
she just
Haley,
out scenarios that caster.
You're going to get into the zone really fast. She's got a feat. You're going to sit there. You could even counter feat if you want to, if she's got a shooty list. And then your Lawn Riders
Well,
go in.
her important unit sees through stealth, and that plays scenario very well too against your heavies.
you can use Creelstone to back up your guys somewhat to
Yeah, it's
prevent
going to be tough.
major
Gun mages
pushing.
to push them around.
Because they're also only range 10 when they're pushing, so I mean they got to be kind of up there.
Yeah,
I don't disagree. I don't think it's a good matchup. I think you see Haley 2, you're like, yeah, I'm probably gonna lose this game, but
Maybe I need to see this list on the table, but I don't understand what this list is doing. The one you
Don't
guys
they have
have.
to aim to ignore stealth.
I don't feel like there's enough model
one of
count,
these
enough
shots.
attack count.
they just do.
So let's think about like the best possible scenario. It'd be a single zone in the middle. The Lawn Riders first turn run up into it. You cast Snow Shroud
Supply
on
and
them.
demand would be your best one because you could actually dominate that scenario zone, and you could
Yeah.
back up your models with your own objective that can't be moved, so you
Yeah.
couldn't be pushed out easily.
You could sacrifice your heavy wound models to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Or
I
your
mean,
sorcerer, or your
Just
Creelstone.
destruction's the way to go.
yeah, and
No, I don't
then
know. Destruction might not actually be that bad. It's the same
Yeah.
situation.
basically the second turn when they try to jam the zone, your Lawn Riders just trample over
But
them.
this isn't a snapshot of what's my greatest scenario choice
Right,
against
right.
this one caster.
No, I agree. I
this
don't think it's
caster
good.
should just beat you most of the time. I think. I think you don't drop this list against Haley too.
Right. I think Runes is dropped against Haley too.
But
It doesn't matter.
Runes
We're
can't
only
be
grading this
repairing.
list. Okay, Ryan, you get paired against Haley 2 in a random scenario that has not yet been chosen. What's your initial impression?
I mean, it's like, what, a 70-30 for Haley? Probably. 60-40,
Probably.
maybe, if I play really well. I mean, I don't know.
Well, no, it's assumed that the person you're playing is exactly as good of a player as you are with the stuff he's
Oh.
playing.
Well, he's got a Haley 2 and I got Bearka, so 70-30.
Okay, bad. 70-30 is the bad line. 60-40 is playable. All right, Kane 2.
it's fine.
I
I
think
think it's
that's fine.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, so good?
I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know
think
if it's good.
Good like 70-30 or like just playable?
It's a match.
I think it's more like playable, personally.
Does Kane kill enough?
Probably
he's got
not
it-
necessarily, but he always threatens Borka.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
His list can kill a Creel.
I don't see Kane's list, Kane 2's list, just taking out a Creelstone.
You gotta realize there's not that much in your list.
But
There
there's
really
I
isn't.
think most of his armies, it's a low model count, but the models in it can do lots of work.
it's
I
a
do agree
sea
that
of
it's
large
vulnerable
bases.
to removing lots of stuff. It's
I
about
mean,
your feet delivering.
You also gotta
army.
you think about what are you playing in Kane 2? When I think of Kane 2, I'm thinking Keith Christensen. I take every armor fixer in the game.
Yeah, you got boomies, you got hammer drawers, you got Ayana and Holt.
You have Gorman, you have literally everything in the game that you can take to make it easier.
Yeah, I mean, half of those rely on...
I'm not saying it's a bad matchup for Borka. I'm saying it's not a good matchup for Borka. Because I think equal skill to equal skill, I think Kane can win at least 40% of the time.
Yeah, okay. I think
I'll
it's
give you that.
Yeah.
Siege.
Yeah, bad.
You think it's that bad? I think you've had a bad experience against Siege.
He has Mage Sight and his feet.
And he has Foxhole.
It's bad.
Are you saying you're worried Borka's going to die, or he's just going to kill your fun stuff?
He could just attrition your entire army. I mean,
well, I'm going to tell you right now, Long Riders just explode off the board.
This will just, didn't this one-shot him?
What, with like a charge, or?
No, with the feet. I think they might one-shot him with the feet. Is that right? They're PAL 10s, and they go down to armor 9. Plus...
They would drop from 17 to 9 and get the +2 from stone beyond 11.
You'd need to be 2-man CRAs, but
you need 9s.
There's 10 guys.
PAL 10s would need 9s to force toughs.
They are the most common unit to get outside of stone, though. But
they can be, for sure.
Yeah, it would be bad. It'd be really bad.
I think that really depends on how your feat is played into him, because if you space properly, Mage Sight's only going to get 2 or 3 important things at best. I don't know. Anyway, I put bad. Moving on, Lich 2. Bad.
Crix is horrible.
Bad.
Yeah, there's not enough models. That's why that's where I always come from thinking of things, and I don't see where what this list is supposed to do.
Well, right, it doesn't. They have the not blessed faction problem of they have to build specifically against a lot of things. They can't just throw together, and like Menoth can tend to just throw stuff together. They can just throw
together Runes of War and play against almost everything.
That's a very specific list that's built to beat a lot of their problems.
Almost every matchup in the game.
Except for Menoth. I'm not crazy about Menoth with runes. Or
just because they have a lot of denial.
Yeah. Okay, Denegra 1. Assuming the gunline style with like Nis Hunters, Boom Howlers.
It's couple still all bad. Any Crix is going to be bad.
Is it that bad?
She's got Crippling Grasp, and she's got Parasite, and she's got her feet.
Yeah, and Borka doesn't have a way to renew it, or to remove anything.
You can't get off the Beast, but you can get off the Long Riders at least.
If she doesn't kill the Sorcerer.
Mm-hmm. He should be pretty fucking far back, to be fair. He should be scared for his fucking life.
Not with Long Riders, he's got to be within 5.
He's got to be within 5 when he uses it. He's 10 inches behind your Long Riders, just hanging out. Yeah. Anyway, I'm fine with bad. It is Denegra.
It's bad.
Gorshade 3.
Good.
Immune to cold everywhere.
Good.
Good.
Plus, he doesn't really hit as hard. I know he's got Scything Touch, but...
He can come into Borka at POW 17, but you can potentially make that dice off 3 with transfers, and he can't make you easy to hit, so it's probably not that bad.
I think it's good.
Butcher 3. Typical Wopagani list. Lots of Iron Fangs. Iron Fangs actually hit these guys okay, but...
They're immune to stationary too, which sucks on their feet.
They can be immune to stationary. He doesn't have a damage buff for them, so they're not going to chew through the beast super easy, but they will kill Long Riders if they survive Long Riders.
Keep you from healing.
Yeah, he has Silence of Death.
Well, that doesn't matter too much on a big unit.
The problem is...
It matters on the beast.
It matters on the beast.
Because they precision strike your spirit and you can't heal.
Yeah, you don't want Black
I think that's
Dragon.
actually a bad matchup for Borka.
I think potentially it is.
Because there again, Butcher 3 runs dude spam, and I don't think this list does much dude spam
It's
removal.
only 2 units.
It's 20 guys.
It's a lot of guys for 2 units, but it's
dude spam plus a whole bunch of supports.
Solos. It's like 12 points of support at least.
Solos. They can do other things.
Lots of it doesn't.
Widowmakers would be annoying.
I'm down on this typical Butcher 3 list. I think he hasn't been fully discovered yet, but
I also don't think they deal very well with 20 models. That's the number of infantry I think that starts making that list.
The only thing I'm scared of in this matchup as Borka is if I can't set up a good way to get Butcher. Like, Butcher's going to have to play this game, I think. I don't care how much you expect 20 Black Dragons to do. They're not going to win this game for you. So Butcher obviously has to come in like he always does. I think having Mulg in the area with a caster that has the ability to knock him down on his own makes it a playable game, at minimum.
It depends
Mulg
if they have
can
Iris.
Kill that guy with Rage. It does not matter. Dice off 1 kills that guy if he hits.
Yeah, he won't come in unless he's killing Mulg. That's my thing.
I don't think he gets that option. with counter charges. You have 2 ways to knock him down if he comes in.
Well, the other thing is, if they don't
And
have
my thing
Iron...
is, you come in, you're hoping for a crit knockdown or smite or whatever, and then now you're impending doomed in.
Well, the other thing is
You can
Bearka...
Runebreaker, though.
That's what I was going to say. Bearka has Command 9 Runebreaker.
You can't cast spells in his command. You can do it on Mulg as well. You can have 2 bubbles and no spells that he can't kill easily. I don't know.
Charging black dragons kill beasts is my problem.
Don't get me wrong. If Butcher just gets to charge Borka, he dies. But you should make sure that does not happen. Okay. What's your guys' final thoughts?
It's probably like a 60-40 for Butcher 3.
Max?
Probably around that.
Okay.
Because Butcher 3 isn't that good. IMO. He always puts himself in a position to lose the game.
Yeah, you cannot play the game without handing your opponent an assassination. That's what I hate about him.
You can make it so bad, though.
Not if it's Mulg.
You really can't. Yeah, how... Tell me as a guy controlling a caster, you're like, I'm going to place my caster with intent of Mulg? Go ahead. I can't think of a situation in which you're like, yeah, that's fine. Like,
Okay,
unless you're playing Borka.
Name any caster in the game that can run up 10 inches away from Mulg and
Borka
say,
one.
I'm gonna tank this.
I intentionally tanked Borka 1 in a game, and there's nothing he could do about it. I was like, Borka 1 moves in front of Mulg and laughs at him because he can't kill him. I was like, okay. It's like, there's just nothing he could do. All right, Sorcerer 1. Good.
Good.
Butcher 1.
We've played that. It's not good.
Bad? Okay.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am still going to change that. I think I'm going to change it to Sorcerer 2, which would have been great. Menoth Krios 1.
If there's a book, you're fine. Oh, no, sorry. Krios 1's got Purification.
He does.
Yeah, bad.
And knocks everything down.
Bad.
What does he get rid of for just the counter charge?
Battle Charge, Snow
He
Shroud.
doesn't get through stealth, though.
He can
He'd have
time
to
lock
take
that
Borka.
whole army. He doesn't really need to hit. It's
Yeah.
only defense 14.
It's
Okay.
bad.
So good. Or good for Krios, so bad.
Good for Krios.
Fiora 2, Judicator, 2 Reckoners, and probably a Templar.
Yeah, I think that's just fine.
It's probably okay.
I think that's actually good.
Because of stealth. Your time lock feat will help a lot.
Okay.
Her feat won't do anything.
So playable? Because you guys say fine. I don't know if you mean it's an easy matchup.
I mean,
or...
it's good for Bearka. I think it's a 60-40 for Bearka. I think anytime this list sees someone else have
She has
multiple
escort,
heavies,
doesn't she?
it's
She has
good.
escort. Thinking enlivened Reckoners will be annoying for you. I mean, if you don't get crit knockdowns or something.
Yeah, Enliven's annoying. You could just bull rush and knock them down.
Playable?
I think it's playable.
I think it's playable.
Playable.
I don't think you're respecting the Menoth heavies enough.
She has escort. She makes them all faster.
Harbinger. Blah.
It depends on the build.
Typical.
I'm going to go
Harbinger.
dude spam and she wins on attrition. Or
If
not
it's
attrition.
Errants, Zealots, Avatar Reckoner, Book, Rupert.
Book automatically bad.
Bad. Mother Directrix Carrier Group.
I can't speak to any of these.
Double Colossal with Drag.
Good.
With Drag.
Good.
You have one turn of safety.
One turn
Yeah.
of safety.
I have 2 turns of safety.
She has feedback, sir.
What 2 turns of safety?
Does she see through spell?
What's one turn, Ryan?
You have whelps. You have 2 turns of safety.
They have
I've-
other guns other than the drag guns.
Okay, well, explain to me. I've actually played.
Okay. One of their servitors, they spawn, they do a death bomb of a 4-inch AoE.
Okay.
So they just charge you and do an auto AoE on top of you, which kill whelps.
Well,
Okay,
what's
so
the whelp
let's-
do
let's-
for
Let's
you?
walk through this interaction.
It prevents the drags. He hits you, does a point, you spawn a whelp and prevent the drag.
Correct. So you put your whelps in reserve. He shoots a harpoon. You spawn a whelp. He shoots the whelp to kill it.
But
He shoots another harpoon.
he has
You spawn
4
a whelp.
drags a turn. You're
We
gonna
have
run out
5
of whelps. You're gonna run out of
We have-
whelps real
Well,
fast.
that's all he said was he had 2 turns.
You have 2
Yeah.
turns. You have 1 turn of whelp spawning, then you have 1 turn of stealth. And then by that time, Mog's in threat range. So I think it's just... I've played this, and I've stopped this drag with whelps before.
You said you couldn't speak to it, but now all of a sudden you played this exact matchup.
I played against the Prime Axiom. I haven't played against Mother.
Okay.
I played against a Syntherian Prime Axiom. So I think it's just fine. I think whelps shut down what Prime Axiom...
There's 3 categories. Fine is not one of them.
It's playable.
Playable. All right, that's something. Max has ruled playable. Father Lucant, Purification, Deceleration, which is kind of relevant for you. He has Positive Charge, the Striker 2 spell. That's annoying as crap. It's basically Choir buff and an AoE.
You had me at Purification.
You had me at Purification. Bad.
Doesn't his
That-
feet do armor?
His feat's
right?
+4 armor and auto repairs.
And everything in his
Stupid.
And his whole army's immune to station. I don't know. Most of his army is actually immune to knockdown, just inherently.
Doesn't he have shield guard too?
He has
Is that the
Field
one?
Marshal Shield Guard.
Gosh, that guy's so dumb.
He's pretty stupid. Bart, mercenaries, galleons, just one.
Fine, just fine.
Max.
Anytime they have a colossal, I think it's going to be good.
He has a hard out for the drag in that matchup. I agree, it's good. I don't think the boosted POW 13s kill enough fast enough. Osram.
I played this. I think it's probably, I don't know.
I think Osram has, if you, outside of your feet turn when you have stealth, I think Bork is actually at risk in this matchup.
He is, and he's got to play forward.
And doesn't Ostrom play just a load of dude spam plus a
He'll
20
usually
point
have
19 point colossal?
He'll usually have 20 models jamming his colossal that kills the world.
Yeah,
What
I think
I've
that's a
seen-
problem.
Go ahead, sorry.
I just think it's a problem because I don't think the list we're talking about deals with infantry that quickly, and then that gives time for the Earthbreaker to deal.
Outside of the feet turn, you're going to lose.
Not deal.
You're going to
To
lose shit.
score a flawless victory. Finish him.
You might even just put Snow Shroud on Borka, so make
Maybe.
it harder to hit him. Yeah, you can't feign death him. Oh, well. I don't think this is good. Playable, I'll give you, but that's only because the Ostrom list might not be particularly good versus whatever you happen to bring that day.
If it's typical, like Gun Mages, Aeon and Holt, Hammer Drawers, Ossian, Earthbreaker, Hearn and John.
You won't see Hearn. Why would you see Hearn and John?
I've seen it in almost every Earthbreaker list I played against, including the one up
Is
at
that
Mayhem.
because you play against Jeremey?
No, up at Mayhem, that guy from Nebraska, he's a pretty good player. He played it.
That's odd.
They're good.
They're okay.
I don't know.
I think you tend to see it with Durgan. Have you just seen a lot of Durgan with Earthbreakers?
No, is there an interaction with Dougal too? Because I think he had Dougal in that
There
list.
is, but usually Dougal's in your other list. I don't know. It's possible.
And then Thor, of course.
Yeah, if you can fit Dougal on the list, then Dougal makes Hearn and John pretty good.
Yeah, they seem pretty good. They went after my stone and did okay. Then they died, but they still did okay.
I think playable.
Playable stuff, yeah.
Or we can sit here and debate it for another hour. Exelon Thexus and his bad people. I don't know what they're called again.
No idea.
Lots of dudes.
I'm not sure, but I think a lot of dudes would be in the list, making it maybe just playable.
That would take a long time to eat through all those dudes. Yeah. Do they all have tough?
Most all of them.
Although
Yeah.
most of the stuff they do, you're not super afraid of, to be fair. But
Plus 5.
never mind. Yeah, he can make his heavies hit real hard, and he has TK, which is fun.
And push for your entire
Yeah.
army. Except for Borka.
Yeah. All right. So playable.
Yeah. Just because we have no idea.
Sure.
I don't think he hits hard enough to close out the game with it if you can focus on his heavies, which are really easy to kill.
They're easy to kill, but
They're behind a lot of dudes.
yeah, I mean, it's not like you have guns to peel them off.
Well, right, but I mean, the long riders might be able to make holes for you. They can do a lot on their because they can slam and then follow up and then make an attack, so they can kill a lot of stuff.
They can, but
Is this
you're
the,
relying on long riders to do
This is the new Merc faction.
like 30 points of work.
This
I
is
feel like.
these are the guys that all have like sack pawn, right?
Yes.
So this is my drop, anyways. So
Right. But that's not what we're.
Yeah, we're not grading Jarl, Ryan. Shut up.
And Hexblast.
Assyria Retribution. She sees through stealth, I hear. I don't know if she can kill your stuff, but she can see through your stealth.
The guns cause you to go.
Signs
Stationary?
important. It just depends on how her feet goes.
Do guns cause you to go stationary?
No.
Okay. Well, nobody plays with guns, so it's good.
I remember all people talked about when she was spoiled was, oh my god, mage hunters are so broken with signs and portents. And then I've never seen her with mages in like one of the games
I'm
people
going to
talk
take
about.
20 sentinels.
Yeah.
Did I mention I don't have Pathfinder in my list?
Anyway,
She's
Assyria.
usually-
The way
got a
I've
Hyperion.
seen her played every time is Hyperion and like
some halberdiers and some
Halberdiers.
sentinels, and
No.
I'm fine with the halberdiers because they're fast.
I see the halberdiers, and then I see the mage hunters with the normal UA, and then I see another unit with guns. I can't remember what they're called.
Riflemen?
Maybe it's riflemen. I think it's riflemen.
They have ignore stealth all the time with the Thane.
But the
Yeah.
Thane's usually desperate pacing the halberdiers, right?
It depends if you need the extra speed or
It's
not.
not
She still has Crusader's Call. She's one of two casters. They threat 15 inches when they are charging.
I don't know. I think she has an out for a lot of Borka's tricks, but I don't know if she has an out for the stuff.
She doesn't do any work, so.
I don't know. I feel like if she wins, it's because she has a really good feat turn.
I think if you kill the Hyperion, then you just march around the board.
That can be true.
Because I don't know what threatens Mulg or even Bearka at that point.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sentinels.
I agree. Once Hyperion's dead, she's not scared. I've never seen her played with Sentinels.
Are you kidding me?
All I hear about is people playing her with Sentinels, but every time I've actually played against the list.
You never, you didn't watch that game that Trevor played with him?
I did not. I kind of watched it. And I was like,
Okay, so you've
where's
seen
all
it.
the people with guns?
What did he play against?
He played nothing but like
I don't even
Sentinels
remember what
and
he played
Halberdiers.
against. It was either trolls or
Yeah, it was like melee list on melee list, and it's like obviously Rhett lost. Like,
Well, was he playing Jay?
yeah.
yeah,
It's probably runes then, right?
It may have been Signar. Honestly, I don't remember.
Oh, that's like a 40k game. Signal versus Retribution.
yeah. All right, Assyria.
I think it's good.
It's pretty close to creeping up there. I think it's playable, but it's like 60-40 playable. You have to, I think, mess up to lose Mulg, and I think Mulg kills the Hyperion, especially with Rage in the list. Like, I think it's just a foregone conclusion it's going to happen eventually.
I
Hyperion
think she's
outthreats
also
Mulg.
new enough that people haven't.
Hyperion does outthreat Mulg.
Does he kill Mulg? He should, right? 21. He's just a 21.
It's iffy. It's not really, but you can. But on feet turn, you're planning
Feet
on
turn,
putting
you should.
other damage on Mulg.
Well, on feat turn, I think he just kills him. I don't think it's an issue anymore with Signs Importance.
But anyways,
Yeah, I think it's good.
sure.
Initial thought was not as good, but the more I think about it, I think she runs out of steam. Virus 2, Griffin Spam with Synergy.
Good. Moving on.
Good for Borka?
Yeah.
Why?
It loses a lot of steam as soon as Griffins start dying.
That's their light
But he
tech,
only has
right?
3 beasts. Like, he's got Mulg,
Yeah.
Mauler.
And 2 Long Riders probably could scrap a Griffin.
That's probably
You have 4 beasts. You have the Axer.
Axer, Mauler, Mulg.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm sorry. I was thinking Runes of War. Sorry.
Okay, anyway, Virus 2. I don't know.
What's he spam? He's a Griffin dude.
Yeah, it's the Synergy Griffin Spam. Usually you'll have at least 7 Griffins.
Aren't they like armor 16?
They're like 18.
Or 18.
Yeah, they have shields.
Oh.
And
Oh well. Okay.
if you were shooting him, they'd be armor 20.
So after the first hit, they're armor 16.
Yeah, in an ideal world. Not the world I live in.
The grids suck, right? For red.
The only time the left arm is not the last system I take out is when it's a Crick's Bone Jackets and then it's movement.
Grid's fine. They have like 24 boxes.
Yeah, I think it's good for Bearka. Anytime that I'm going to see a bunch of medium war
They
decks,
also out-threat everything in your army.
I mean, what do they get synergy up to? Like PAL 16s?
No, they concentrated power to 15 base, and they synergy up to around 20.
Yeah, your closer's usually going to be around 20.
So you're saying that if you feat the turn that you like, if Bearka's feat would just shut that down for 1 turn, right?
Mhm.
So I guess
He
it
also
depends
has
if he-
Sentinels usually, right? 2 units of Sentinels.
Or at least a unit. Usually.
Yeah, at least 8 units. So 1 unit of Weapon Masters that he can throw out in front to screen against Long Riders and or be the sacrificial unit during a feat turn.
Okay, let's say playable then.
I think it's
I think
playable.
it's
It's probably on your side of playable.
Good, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think a good Virus player versus a good Borka player, I think it's a game. Ossian. He has no out for stealth, which is bad, but can he pull it out the turn after?
He's typically the Ret's troll drop, right? Just because he blows up heavies.
He can, but I don't know how he deals with your stealth. Because the Long Riders are so fast as soon as
Here's
stealth...
how he deals with the stealth. He forces you to feat, he jams you with halberdiers that you have to clear out, and then he feats the turn after. Because he always takes halberdiers, because he makes them speed 8, then you desperate pace them, and they run 18 inches.
Yeah, that's good jam. That's the raspberry.
And they have set defense, so charging them, their defense 15.
Okay, so does that get him out of the hole of the feet?
I
And
think so.
Does he
I think
power
that's
through after that?
I think it's not like it's awful, but I think he might be like the good side of the 60-40 for Ossian to win the game.
I kind of feel the same way.
I don't think it's like any sort of unplayable matchup for you at all. But I think he has the tools in his list to kill you, because he doesn't need the halberdiers for anything but to slow you down.
I think it just depends on how good you play your Lawn Riders. If they can handle the Halberdiers, then you're in a good position. It's probably not good, though.
Well, they're
overall.
going to blow up the halberdiers. It's just that you can't cross the table at that point.
Well, the problem is the halberdiers actually out-threat the Long Riders.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
You're
say,
talking
I don't know
about
if
POW
you can blow
14
them up.
charges, they could kill the Long Riders.
It's not great. It
Or
just
at least
depends on space.
multiple
On a
of them.
2-to-1, maybe, yeah.
It'll have game
You'd
too,
probably
right?
kill a couple.
Yeah, you would team effort when you go in. PAL 14 averages 24s. I mean, if they're not under the creel, even if they are under the creel, 2 of them could.
This is why I liked it when we had like 3 Axers and the Long Riders, is that if you space your Long Riders properly, as people come in, you countercharge Axers in between your Long Riders, and that clears a lot of the unit off, hopefully.
Yeah, no, it might end up being a thing where you just drop the Mauler and say that I can hit hard enough, and then add another Axer in.
At that point,
I feel like at that point you got to drop Mulg and you have to pick up a hit fixer because you want him to do work on your turn too.
I think Rock with 3 Axers was actually a pretty good battle group for this.
Yeah, it might end up being the one.
Yeah. All right, but we're going with this for right now. We might come back to it later after some playtesting. I think I'm actually going to put Ossian down as good, because if they have that, they're definitely going to drop it, and I think it has decent game. Like, I think with the being out-threaded by the halberdiers, and that's really all the jam he needs to get past your feet. Because if you
mean you're going to put it as bad?
Bad for Borka, yeah.
Okay.
I think if both players know the matchup well, I don't think you have there's a way for you to play around your disadvantage.
Because to do slams aren't even important if you've already been engaged. You can't do it anyways.
You can't,
but
yeah.
I know, but it wouldn't be important if you've already been engaged anyways.
Well, you can also just do impact attacks if you got the charge in too. But the slam where you could hit multiple people with slamming and then get your melee attack in addition to it, you could potentially kill 3 guys each. That's really what you're banking on to get you through the early game. And when instead you just lose 2 Long Riders. Ossian I'm putting as bad. Morvana 2.
I think it's playable.
Can you kill her army twice without dying?
I can damage
her
my
army.
own war beast and eat her army.
That helps.
So I think it's just fine.
I'm going to put playable.
She doesn't like a lot of armor.
Fine's not one of our 3 categories, Ryan.
It's playable.
Okay.
Chromac bad.
Chromac, bad.
Actually, I don't know.
I
think
don't know if
anything
you-
that just takes regular heavies is probably just at worst playable because they can't kill you on the feet turn.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
true.
it's bad.
But
any other time he out threats you and has 3 heavies that will remove your heavies.
every turn you don't feat, you're going to lose something, I feel.
That's the only reason I originally said bad, but I think because of the feat, anything that doesn't take something that's immune to cold is playable against, at worst.
Well,
Being your
He's
only
gonna-
speed buff is Rush, your longest threat range is Mold charging 11.
no, it's Lone Riders 12.
Oh, that's true. Long Riders do. Yeah, Long Riders actually kill Warpwolves.
Yeah,
Pretty
not only
easily.
that, but part of Cromat's shtick is that he has to trigger Warpath, and there's no easy Warpath targets.
It's true,
in their list.
Warpath targets aren't very good there.
No, Warpath is the Long Riders. You just send in a Stalker and Warp Strength and kill some Long Riders and then sprint away.
It's probably still not going to get you out of threat. Well, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, it's perfectly playable, I think.
I'll go with playable because that could be a heavy skill game. Kruger 2. I don't think it could be any worse than... Well, I guess his feat's pretty much a shutdown for a turn. I don't think he has an easy time killing your list, though. Standard Kruger
He
lists run
usually
2
plays
Stalkers.
2 stalkers.
But if he sends in 2 Primal Stalkers, as long as you keep Mold safe, you win.
I think he just kills Bearka.
Does he?
Yeah, Bearka's got to play way up for his army to work. I think it's bad. A double teleported telekinesis Gatarex doesn't care about stealth.
It doesn't, but if you feat, it
Then
does.
he waits. Then he feeds and he waits. He doesn't-
That would be the big problem.
He doesn't sleep. He waits.
Okay,
I don't-
bad.
Bad.
I think it's bad.
I'm fine with bad.
Veil 2.
Kruger's strong.
Grail?
Veil. No, we don't do Grail on this channel.
I don't think Grail can kill Borka. I don't think she has an out for his feet other than waiting.
Talk about Veil 1.
2.
Oh,
Veil
Veil
one's
2.
bad.
Purification.
Ask anybody
Moving on.
player.
Purification. You lose.
Saren.
That's really bad.
That's super bad.
Is it?
She
It's
just feeds
awful.
second.
She out-threats you, doesn't she?
It's awful.
Long Riders actually threaten a lot of her beasts.
It's bad.
How is it that bad? I think you're just...
She just has to breath steal the Long Riders, and then they can't charge anymore.
Yeah,
They're minus
that
2
would
speed.
suck. I forgot she had breast stealer. I'm
She
going with
breast
that.
stealers, then she feeds.
Thagrosh 1!
I think
Playable,
I think
maybe.
it's playable.
You can
War
snack his
Spears.
beast.
Yeah, playable. War Spears could do a lot of work against you,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
can't see through. They can't see through stealth. So.
Well, Assault, though, is a good way to get around stealth.
Still 3 inches of less range.
Well, optimistically, you'd just be charging things, but yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
playable.
Playable? Okay.
Yep.
Hexaris 2,
Hexaris 2.
good.
What?
He has Ancestral Rage token, doesn't he? No, that's the other guy.
That's all.
Visol.
Never mind.
Hexeris 2 is troop removal.
He's the Ashes to
And
Ashes guy with Black Spot.
Oh, he's the one that steals all your
Doesn't
fury
have
too,
any
right?
plus
Yeah.
hit. Yeah.
You're like,
Which
thank you.
doesn't really hurt you.
Thank you for fixing my Fury problem.
I can save my whelps. Please, feet.
Yeah, you don't really care about Black Spot or Ashes to Ashes.
Does he have an armor debuff or a armor?
No, but his beast
He
already
can
hit
potentially run bronze backs. Yeah, I mean, he
But-
can kill stuff.
But you can feat for the bronze backs. I'm going to say that's probably good.
I think it's good too. I don't think he has any tools needed to beat you. It would just be bronze backs are better than troll heavies, and I don't think that's the case in this matchup. Makeda 2, different story.
That's the Mullet Karn bullet
Playable.
chick.
I think she outthreats you to the point that she can outweight your feet pretty easy.
Yeah, but Mulg's still really hard to kill. You
Mulg
can keep your guy pretty safe. You countercharge the shit out of Mulkarn
that
as
would
he keeps moving.
Does it come down to whether Mullet can
He has
kill
to be able
Mullet
to
Karn
see
before
you,
Mullet Karn kills
and you have to not be
Bearka?
engaging him. Can Mullet Karn kill Mulg?
No.
No,
No.
but can he kill Bearka before
He's
Mullet
dice off
Karn
6.
gets...
He does 4 damage on 7 attacks if you let him charge you, which you can't really not
You
let
have
him
no answer.
charge
You're
you.
threat 11, yeah. I think Mullet Karn goes up, kills a bunch of the Long Riders, backs out, and then it's bad because you could send in an Archidon as long as Mulg doesn't crit slam you. Can pitch what's-his-face, Borka out, and then...
Well, as the Bearka player, you would have to say, I'm not going to throw my Lawn Riders out there. They're going to be 5 inches in front of my War Beast, and this brick's going to move up the board.
I think he can still do the Mullet Karn thing, though, because Mullet Karn walks about as far as...
Yeah, he goes after Lawn Riders, and then you countercharge.
He walks 10 with her. And
Yeah,
Rush.
you just have to play as a brick.
I think it's the only thing you're scared of countercharging you is Mulg, because he could, in theory, knock you down, but you just move in a way that he can't charge you.
Bearka does too,
But if you're charging
Yeah.
Bearka, then Bearka will be engaged.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but I mean that's like end game then, right?
Yeah, I actually think this is bad for you.
There probably is. I don't
think
play
she
against
has enough
Mickey Fish
tools.
enough.
The Archidon is scary for Bearka too, because it's Bearka can get to 20, but it's dice off 3,
When you throw him out of the stone, he
hitting
gets scared.
pretty much every time because it's 3 dice to hit on the feet turn
Yeah, that's
for
probably
5
bad.
attacks. I mean it's a lot of damage on your beasts if nothing else, and you're naked after that.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
I don't know.
Mainly because she's going to get to choose every engagement, and you will have to play
She takes
perfectly.
enough heavies to kill all of your heavies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with bad. We're probably wrong.
Okay.
Madrak 2, Trolls. Lots
Horrible.
of dudes with... Okay, I was going to say, I was like, I think this is bad.
I don't know. The feet turn keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Grim 2. Good.
Yeah, a typical Grim 2 list is probably you're just fine.
Lots of stealth.
Runes of War.
Horrible.
Bad.
Bad.
Purification. And Rask.
You both have, like, don't do anything feats.
Fine. I think it's good.
Lots of gators.
You think it's good?
Yep.
Yeah, you probably didn't have a very good way to
Inhospitable
kill
ground,
Mulg
but
ever.
we still kept the fell collar in there.
You
You
still
have
have the
Pathfinder
Axer.
everywhere.
No, he has Fury. He can kill Mulg. It might take a while, but he can kill Mulg.
I don't think he kills Mulg.
You're,
Ever.
Yeah, he kills one.
Black
Between
Eyed
your-
Wrestlers suck.
Between your feet turn and just Mulg, I don't think he
Depends.
ever
How many
kills.
Ironback Spitters
Not
is
on
he
your
playing?
feet turn. But he's got
Well,
plenty of jam with 3 units of gators to hold you back for a while.
How many Ironback Spitters does he have?
None. None. Not a 1. 0. Absolutely none. I don't know how else to say it, Max. All right.
War Beast?
I think he can kill Mulg. I think Mulg's going to have to do work in this matchup with that many gators.
I kind of think it's kind of a 50-50 thing. He can also, other than your feet turn, it's not very long range, but he can remove your upkeeps.
I think it's good for Bearka. I mean, Rask moves up in feats.
His
Bearka moves up in feats, and then we play a game. And every time a gator comes in, he gets countercharged by something that probably kills him. Pretty close.
I think you're overestimating how you have 4 counter charges. One of them's an Axer at dice off 4. Does not kill unless you just roll hot. And he's going to need at least a 7 to hit.
They're going to be coming in Lawn Riders to start with, though, right? It's not like they're going to have anything they're removing.
No,
So-
I mean, he should probably get the charge. But I mean, if he's attacking
Right.
them under feet turn, it's not going to be very good.
I don't know why he get the charge. Why would he?
His feet's
His
going to go
feet.
first,
But then you feet.
But
which
then
doesn't stop
He
him from
charges
charging you.
Yeah, he Furies
Yeah.
Gators and charges you at dice off 3. usually forcing tough. I mean,
No,
if he
just dice
wants
off
to
4.
sack gators to it, it's his call.
This dice off 4, and
It
then they
is.
stop.
But
19
that's a lot
to
of damage
17.
on your unit,
Damn.
and it's still
Dice off 3.
Oh yeah, they're not
that's
20,
still
they're
killing
19.
like 3 of your like 11 point.
Yeah,
unit.
if no
Yeah, I
counter
mean,
charge
off.
comes.
I would think I would sack a unit of gators to a unit of long riders.
Yeah.
Because worst case scenario, they're tied up and then
Well,
at
and,
best they
and I
kill a
think if
gator.
you actually do the correct amount of damage that you probably should do to the long riders, they won't be able to retaliate and kill all of the gators.
And then you just walk up and sack strike with your Bokers, or not the witch doctors. Well, your stationary gator that's just standing there. You're like, I need to kill this long rider while I still can. You have an option.
He's armor 18.
I think that's like a perfect world, though. I don't think that gators typically get a lot of gators on your lawn riders, considering that you have the same threat range. And when he feats, it's not like you're stationary, like, well, I guess I'm just going to take the charge. You can readjust. You can throw one lawn rider out there.
I think but it comes down to the point is like, his army is pretty much just as fast as yours, with the exception of the long riders. If the long riders outrun the army, then they're not under
The
stone.
gators are threat just as far as long riders.
Yeah, they threat the same.
Yeah.
The thing is that his feat should give him the alpha strike.
Yeah. He can...
Your feat will defend some of it, but your long riders are actually really a huge... that's the downside to how this list is built, in my opinion. This list requires the long riders to do more work than their points are, I think.
They have high potential to do that unless they have a hard answer for them. But yes, I agree. They're required to do a lot of lifting in this list.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I think
let's put...
yeah. But the point I was trying to make is that if you get the charge on the gators, you're out of stone, which means, and most likely out of feet unless Borka's really far up the table. Like,
Right, you're not going to be able to slingshot your lawn riders out.
Right, which is what's going to give him the alpha strike.
Well, you can still threaten it, and if he doesn't feat, you can still do it, which is fine.
Right, but I'm just saying that I think he wins if you do that. I think you give him too much if you do that. Because if they charge way out of your support bubble, they just die for free, and it's not worth that. You can threaten it, but if he understands how the matchup works, I think he knows that you lose if that happens. I think he gets the alpha charge, even if it's
Ryan
under feet.
played both these casters, so...
Yeah, Ryan, why did you sell Rask? We could have done this.
Just put playable. That's fine.
I'm putting bad for Borka. You're bad at this game.
You're putting bad?
Bad.
That's nowhere near
It's bad. You're out-threaded. Bad.
All right.
I put playable. All right. So in summary, he is bad versus Haley 2, Siege, Lich 2, Denny 2, Butcher 1, Krios 1, Harbinger, Father Lucans, Ossian, Kruger 2, Vale 2, Saren.
You put it bad versus Ossian?
Yes, I did.
He changed it on us.
I was
Actually,
ready to say, well,
bad versus Makeda 2, bad versus Madrak 2, bad versus Runes of War. It's only like the good casters from every faction.
oh yeah, that's the baller tournament list.
It felt better than that when we were doing it for some reason.
It did it?
It did. I thought we
'Cause
had a lot of goods on here. I mean, it's no Father Lucant, but
It's... We already know... If you're playing this list, like we talked
He's
about
not-
earlier,
yeah.
whether or not Ryan admits to it, he may have, I don't remember that far back. Runes of War does this better.
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
yeah, no one's arguing that. We're talking about the merits of him. Not all casters are
this
created
caster's
equally.
probably a lot of fun to play.
Right.
It's a casual weekend caster for right now.
It's a great caster to take to a casual local tournament.
He
have fun.
actually may have a place in a tournament list somewhere. I just don't know what his pairing is.
I think he's a 3-list caster. I don't think
that
he's
might
a
be
2-list
that might be what he is. There's plenty of those out there.
There are.
Well, his pairing has to be Pigrim, right? Or Runes, because you can't
But I feel like
drop-
Runes is you're doing the same thing with both lists.
Yeah.
And you'd rather just drop Runes in every situation that you can drop him.
Yeah, there's no question he's inherently countered by Crix because he stops everything they don't do. Like, oh, you can't put a bunch of heavies on my heavies because I win that trade. You're like, well, they don't do that. And like, you can't shoot me to death. Like, well, they don't do that. So
Yeah, and then plus, I stationary your Bane Thralls. Well, they got this little UA that has 2 axes.
yeah,
It's stupid.
Well, he's still stationary, and to be fair.
yeah.
Yeah,
To
until...
be fair, that ability
your
actually
turn.
never happens
Yeah, I guess so. since it's
because
your turn.
the stationary expires before he gets to remove it. Ryan, why
Yeah,
do you
it's-
complain about this? This isn't even an issue.
Well, I mean, well, trolls usually take what? They take their beast brick of some variant, and then they take some kind of Well, they have 3 builds. They have
Anti-Crix list, yeah.
anti-Crix list. and you can take
Anti-dudes, but mostly Crix.
Yeah, or you can take a Beast Brick, or you can take like a Mad Rag. All of my warriors can kill everything. And here's 30 of them. And Bearka plays differently from all of that. So, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, we probably still have some more play left in this list before we get an official hard stone one. But there's hard to get a lot of play test on a caster and a lot of feel about it when only like 10 people own it right now. So
Yeah.
how much did you spend for yours on eBay?
Who cares?
79, I think, or something like that. 80.
My favorite is after you ordered it, everyone's like, you can't play that. It's not legal
Yeah.
yet.
Well, one tournament.
It's all right.
And recruits.
And
They made
everybody.
a bad decision. Who
oh, no.
who
Okay.
would rather play Rose of War than Borka?
For the
I know.
record, when we went to the Killing Grill, which luckily we ended up winning, in the final round, someone mentioned that Borka wasn't technically legal yet because he hadn't been officially released to the public. And so we called the judge, who asked him what he wanted to do, and he basically said, well, you haven't played yet because his list pairing was Borka 2 Beast Brick and Runes of War Beast Brick. He hadn't dropped anything but Runes of War yet, so he's technically list locked into Borka, and he said, just let your opponent pick your list, I'm fine with that. So he goes to the table, and he's like, do you want to play Borka, or do you want to play Runes of War? And the guy thought about it for a second and said, I want you to play Runes of War. And he's like, are you sure? Because it's Runes of War, and this is just Borka with no Mulg. And he's like, no, play Runes of War. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I'm glad you bought him to take him down there and not get to play him.
I know.
I wish you'd have got to play him.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
I was going to play in the final round because the guy let me.
Yeah, we were going to lose, and I'm glad you didn't.
Oh,
I
It
don't
would've been
know
okay.
that it would have
Yeah,
been that.
it would have
bad.
been an interesting game. They both. Anytime you're looking at 2 Troll Beast Bricks, it's kind of just flavor of the month.
Well, yeah, I mean, his major thing was, he came in
yeah,
on
he doesn't-
P. feet with 4 Fury.
Ugh.
So, and then he still didn't kill the Earthborn. So when that happened, it was pretty much a good game. But
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Learn to Wargame. You can find us online at l2wg.com, Facebook, twitch.tv, YouTube, or Google+, and most importantly, l2wg.com for all of our content. I just asked him not to scream. And then he just said, man, I'm going to hang up on you. I was like, okay, well, that works too. Hi, Ryan.
hey,
So what are we talking about?
are we live?
Yeah.
We're talking about Bearka tonight, aren't we?
I don't know, are we? I made a list, but it was a Vlad list.
Doesn't seem the same.
That doesn't sound like it'll work.
Yeah. All right. So you made a list, right, Ryan?
I did. I have a couple different lists for Bearka that I've tried.
Okay. Do you have one that you like more than the others yet? We're not actually recording. We're doing like a pre-ramble right now. You're recording, right?
I'm recording.
Recording.
The Mountain King list, probably, I think, is pretty cool because I think he actually makes him work decent. And then the other one I think that's kind of unique is the Gunline Borka list.
Okay. Cool. Max, did you make the list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did as well.
That's.
It's terrible, but I made one.
So's this one. Don't worry about it.
Did you put Rock in your list?
No,
I have Rock in my list.
I have Rock in my list.
I do have Victor Pendrake.
Ooh. How many axes do you have in your list?
3.
I have to change my list. Hold on. Do you have a unit in your list?
Yeah, the Krillstone.
That's it? Okay. It's not my list. Can you change your list?
I
please?
still have a Mountain King in it.
Can you change? Just drop Rock. Why do you have Rock and a Mountain King?
Why not?
That's scored. You have two.
Primal Daxers. Primal Daxers.
But you can amok your axers. Like, all right. Do you have anything you want to talk about, Ryan? Before we get started.
No, just Bearka.
Okay. How's your day going?
It's been going okay. Kinda long.
Maybe we can talk about a good caster like Epic Xerxes.
We'll do
On
that
Friday.
tomorrow. Yeah. No, I hope he gets spoiled. I want to talk about him.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get another troll caster like Doomy 3 or
Yeah.
Madrak 3.
I keep hearing the rumor that
I've
there's
heard
gonna be
hear
two
the rumors
casters.
that it's 2 casters, but I don't know if I believe
I don't
it.
see it. That's a lot of stuff to dump
Well,
on us all at once.
It is, but maybe they're trying to catch hordes up a little bit because they're still slightly behind the caster curve of most Warmachine factions.
Well, if there's not 2 casters, the rest of their releases are going to be kind of non-exciting because we know what units are pretty much coming out.
Yeah, but we
beast
don't know what
packs.
any of them do. We don't know what the beast packs are. We don't know what We don't know what the
Solos.
heavies are. We know
Most
some of the solos.
yeah. No, all 4 of the solos, actually. Yeah, because those were the 4.
But there could be attachments, things like
That's
that coming.
true. Some new UAs would be nice.
A UA for Bearka. It's Keggy on a baby bear
Have you
on a
had a
pig.
stroke?
A pig on a pig
that gives him stumbling drunk, please.
that makes them good.
I would really like to see the highwaymen be bandits on pigs. I think that'd be awesome.
And for the record, I think Bearka is good.
He's probably fine. I don't know if he's good.
He's
I don't
good in
think-
the same way that they have 4 other casters that play the same type of army.
He's like Hunter's Grim good, where it's like, yeah, he's not bad, but
He's good, but
Peak
why are
Grim
you not
exists.
playing Grim 1?
Yeah, P Grim exists, so okay,
Yeah, Borka runs really good Beast Break, but why are you not playing runes?
pretty much because you build it and you're like, this is the same thing as Runes of War, except they don't have any rune shapers. Okay, well,
But you deal with it with threshers.
yeah.
Thresher. Dude, you should just build Bearka with just load them up on winter trolls, and so they start countercharging and stationaring everything that ends within 2 inches of them.
One of my lists, actually, are we going yet? Or is this still
This is
preamble?
Yeah,
pre-ramble.
we're just chatting, getting warmed up.
When we start, he'll tell you,
Yeah,
and
there'll be an
we'll do the introductions, and then you'll go through your list.
Yeah.
One of my list, my gunline list, actually had a winter troll in it because
I said
I
a
was
whole
going to
bunch of
Rhine
winter trolls.
or Freezer. That's the name of his animus.
Yeah.
I was gonna freezer my bombers on my feet turn and be like, "There's no way that you're jamming me. I'm getting to shoot you again. Because if you just try to run and jam me, you're stationary. If you attack me, you're stationary, and then they can just walk back and throw bombs again."
What if the model he jams you with is immune to cold?
Well, of course, that's
There's
not a good list you want to drop against
not
if they have
very
a bunch
many of
immune to
those.
cold.
What if they have any way to remove an animi? Like
Yeah,
Eris?
purification.
If they have purification, you can't play Bearka. I mean, seriously, you can't.
I don't think it's that bad, is it?
You lose Battle Charged and Snow Shroud.
You can recast Battle Charge.
Which does no good.
It's like recasting Mirage. I'll get you next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if it's a purification caster, you just can't play him. If they have like Iris, you can still play him because your feet will give you stealth, so...
hmm I did come up with a little bit of some cool interactions that I don't think any of you guys would have noticed, but we'll see.
Like the Room Bearer mini feats on turn 1, so he can dump 5 into the stone.
you mini feet turn 2,
Yeah, you want a mini feed on 2.
Why?
because Battle Charge never really works on turn 1, and Snow Shroud is just an upkeep that you really don't need to pay for on turn 1.
Well,
Or turn 2.
I wouldn't even cast Snow Shroud in my list.
Well, Battle Charge just doesn't come into play. I mean, well, I guess maybe if they have an incredibly fast list and you go turn 2, but...
Them Satixis
Yeah, countercharge Mat 5, Mat 6.
seems worth it.
I wish
Bearka's
Rush
Mat 8,
lasted for
Mat 10 on his counter charge.
You mean around?
a round, yeah. I wish Rush lasted for a round, and I wish, what was the other animus I was thinking of?
Primal does.
Yeah, Primal does.
So does Rage, I believe. I think all the
Rage
strength
does.
ones, all the damage ones last around, I believe.
Rage sucks.
Yeah.
It's no hit fix. Come on.
Well, you can usually boost with the Troll Beast, but...
They're only Fury 3.
Well, I'm talking about heavies. But yeah, lights don't do much work in hand-to-hand.
I wish Rock was only Fury 4. It'd really
I wish-
fit him right in there.
It's just total garbage.
If Rock had reach, oh my gosh.
He is reach short of being playable. He's reach and 1 point short of being good.
That's one of the rumors was that one of the new War Beasts was going to give out tenacity. Or not tenacity. Oh, I
Elasticity.
wish.
Elasticity's not that good in Trolls because they have
It's bad.
all their offensive buffs are animuses.
The problem is you have to drop something for it, or else you're dropping a heavy that
Morg is like literally the only thing that can crush things, but he already has reach.
Right.
So,
Rock would be the one guy that would...
but he's only an 18. I mean, that's like nothing special.
Yeah, you'd rather put Rush on him. It's the same distance fixer, and it gives him Pathfinder. Because you put Elasticity on him, your beast doesn't have Pathfinder.
There's certain situations where reach is better. 'cause
I'm specifically
there's like
thinking
a wall,
about E
and you can't get over
with
it.
Goad and his feet. And Rock's Berserk. That could be a
Berserk
lot of
is the
good
only
stuff.
thing that'd be interesting, but he's still only at 7.
If they
But
put
you do get 5 attacks plus.
they put a
all those other
reach
ones.
beast, a beast that gives elasticity in trolls, that would, I think, be bad unless he's literally like 3 points.
Well, think about this combo. Idumi casting Wild Aggression on Rock and then giving him Reach and then feeding and letting him go to round.
I have a question. Why don't you just do that with Mulg?
Well, I mean, you could, but Mulg's not in every
He doesn't
list.
get Berserk
He's
either.
in Doomshaper's list.
But he doesn't get Berserk.
P-Doomies.
You were going to play Doomshaper 1 and 2 as your list pair?
Rock would literally kill
Maybe.
everything he got to, whereas Mulg would kill
Yes.
7 models.
Yes, because that's right, Max. Because you could goad.
Right, you
Kill
go and you
Berserk.
berserk everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Rock would be better at clearing infantry. Mulg's
Yes
still
and no.
better
I mean,
at killing
you
heavies.
still have to resolve the attacks before you trigger Goad. You can't keep...
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which means if he gets into a group of guys, that's where Mulg just kills all the guys and then doesn't really move.
I'm not
do
saying
anything.
it's not good, but it sounds like a Rube Goldberg machine version of Madrak 1's feat. It's like just an
Yeah, but you get a
axer.
Beastcaster, which is
Madrak
helpful.
1 is a Beastcaster.
Well, he doesn't get the speed benefit, and even though you have Carnage, you have to stay in your control area, and Wild Aggression is wherever he goes. So,
Madrak and Doomshaper's control area are actually pretty comparable when you can figure out where Doomshaper actually has to stand to not die.
yeah, just depends.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get going though because it's 9:30. I gotta get up at 5:30.
Okay. All right.
Is this the
Did
last
you-
second episode where...
No.
No.
This is episode 11?
We're redoing Hunter's Grim.
No. Can you do 2, Ryan?
Again, I have to get up at 5:30.
Why-
so-
I get up at 6. Quit
We could
crying.
have started earlier if you said you had to get up at 5:30.